What if everything you believed about your life, your family, and even the world wasn't actually true? And the scariest part is you wouldn't even know it. That's the kind of reality this story pulls you into. The book Educated by Tara Westover is not just a memoir. It's a journey of someone who grows up completely cut off from formal education and slowly fights her way into a new world of knowledge, identity, and self-understanding. At its core, this book is about what it really means to educate yourself, not just through school, but through questioning everything you've been taught. Let's break down the most powerful ideas from this story. The first idea is that your environment shapes your reality more than you think. Tara grows up in a strict, isolated family in rural Idaho. Her father doesn't believe in formal education, hospitals, or even government systems. So Tara never goes to school. She doesn't have a birth certificate for years. She grows up working in a junkyard, completely outside the normal world. Now imagine this. If you were born into that environment, you wouldn't question it either. Because for you, that would be normal. This is something we often ignore in our own lives. The way we think, the beliefs we carry, the fears we have, a lot of it comes from the environment we grew up in. For example, someone who grows up hearing money is hard to earn may always struggle with financial confidence. Someone raised in a supportive environment may take risks more easily. The takeaway here is simple. Start questioning the beliefs you didn't choose. Ask yourself, is this really true, or is this just something I was taught? The second idea is that education is not just about school. It's about awareness. Tara teaches herself enough to pass the ACT exam and gets into college without ever stepping into a classroom before. But when she arrives, she realizes something shocking. She doesn't even know basic historical events or common knowledge that everyone else seems to understand. At one point, she hears the term Holocaust in class and has no idea what it means. Imagine sitting in a room where everyone assumes you know something so fundamental, and you don't. That moment shows that education isn't just about degrees. It's about understanding the world around you. In real life, many people finish school, but still don't question their beliefs or expand their thinking. On the other hand, some people keep learning every day, even outside formal systems. The takeaway is to stay curious. Don't rely only on what you were taught in school. Read more, explore different perspectives. Keep learning, because that's what truly changes your thinking. The third idea is that growth can feel like betrayal. As Tara learns more and begins to see the world differently, she starts to question her family's beliefs. But this creates a deep internal conflict, because when you change the people around, you may feel like you're rejecting them. This is something a lot of people experience. When you try to improve your life, whether it's your mindset, career, or habits, not everyone will support you. Some may even resist your growth. For example, if you decide to focus on your goals, you might hear things like, "You've changed," or "You think you're better now." And that can make you feel guilty. Tara goes through this on a much deeper level. She struggles between staying loyal to her family and staying true to herself. The takeaway here is important. Growth often comes with discomfort, and sometimes you have to choose between being accepted and being honest with yourself. The fourth idea is that your identity is not fixed. At the beginning of the story, Tara sees herself only through the lens of her family. But as she gets exposed to new ideas and experiences, she starts to rebuild her identity. She goes from someone who has never been to school to studying at Cambridge and Harvard. But the real transformation isn't external, it's internal. She begins to see that she has the right to think for herself, to choose her own beliefs, and to define who she is. In real life, many people feel stuck because they think, "This is just who I am." But that's not true. Your identity is shaped by your choices, not just your past. The takeaway is that you can change your story. No matter where you come from, you are not limited to that version of yourself. Now here's something most people miss. Education is not always comfortable. In fact, real education can be painful, because learning the truth sometimes means unlearning what you once believed. And that process can shake your entire sense of reality. Tara's journey shows that gaining knowledge is not just about adding information. It's about letting go of illusions. And that's much harder. Let's continue with the most powerful lesson from this story. The strongest idea in Educated is this: you can love people and still choose to walk away from them. This is one of the hardest truths to accept. Tara deeply loves her family, but as she grows and starts to see the harmful patterns in her environment, she realizes that staying in that situation would mean losing herself. And this is something many people struggle with. We often believe that love means staying no matter what. That loyalty means tolerating everything. But sometimes staying in a toxic environment slowly destroys your confidence, your identity, and your future. Think about someone who stays in a job that drains them every day, or a relationship where they are constantly disrespected just because they feel they should. Tara's story challenges that idea. It shows that choosing yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. The takeaway here is powerful. You can care about someone and still set boundaries. You can love someone and still choose a different path. Now let's bring this into something practical. If there's one small action you can take today, it's this. Take a moment and write down one belief you've always accepted without question. It could be about yourself, your abilities, your future, or even your fears. Then ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Was it something you experienced, or something you were told? And most importantly, is this belief helping me grow or holding me back? This simple exercise can start shifting how you see your own life, because awareness is where change begins. Now let's close this with something worth remembering. Your past can shape you, but it doesn't get to define you forever. And sometimes the hardest part of growing is not learning something new. It's having the courage to question what you've always believed.